Today marks exactly 60 years since the Verrazzano Bridge opened to much fanfare, connecting the borough of Staten Island, of course, to southern Brooklyn and permanently changing the fabric of the city. Hannah Kliger covers Brooklyn and reports from Bay Ridge on the bridge that broke a world record and still fascinates people today.
Already a thing of beauty, spanning the Narrows at the mouth of the Port of New York.
For 6 decades, these steel towers and swooping cables have served as a symbol of connection and innovation. They've also inspired a bit of a fan base. Dave Frieder is very passionate about bridges.
It's sleek, has beautiful lines, it's massive.
In the years before 9/11, the hobby photographer has legally climbed and captured stunning images from nearly all the city's most famous bridges, including the Verrazzano, which he scaled at least 5 times.
The average person just can't go up there. You look at this marvel of civil engineering. I mean, it wasn't just a bridge, it's an art form.
He knows nearly all its dimensions by heart and has an impressive collection of memorabilia.
This is an actual piece of wire rope.
60 years ago, a ferry was the only thing that connected Brooklyn to Staten Island. That service between the two boroughs ended with the opening of the bridge. As we reported in the spring, lawmakers are exploring bringing that ferry back.
People live and work on both sides of the bridge and have family on both sides of the bridge. It's just a no-brainer.
Decades before the bridge was built, there were other plans to connect the two boroughs by rail. The city had long considered building a tunnel under this water and began construction about a century ago. Despite part of it being built, it now sits abandoned somewhere here under Owl's Head Park. Construction on the Verrazzano began in 1959 and took 5 years to complete. When it was opened in 1964, it was the longest suspension bridge in the world. Stuart Rankin is an engineer at WSP, the legacy company that designed the iconic structure.
But one of the most unique features of the bridge is the design of the superstructure underneath the upper level. It's what allows the lower level to exist because, again, not a lot of bridges have that lower level.
Its most recent evaluation showed some signs of corrosion, so Rankin says there are plans to install a system to dehumidify the cables in an effort to expand their lifespan.
Just next year, 2025, the plan is for that project to go to construction.
Picture, just for a moment, that the bridge's towers are further apart at the top than at the base to compensate for the curvature of the Earth.
It's magnificent. It's very simple, but it's beautiful.
According to the MTA, it remains the longest suspension bridge in North America. In Bay Ridge, Hannah Kliger, CBS News, New York.
And there's no cooler feeling than running across that bridge, as people do every year in the marathon. The MTA says the bridge carried more than 80 million vehicles last year, making one of the busiest in the New York metropolitan area. And Hannah is a Brooklyn native and covers the borough for the U.S. For us, if you have, probably for the U.S. too, you have a story idea for her, scan the QR code on your screen.